Hi everyone. Today I'd like to talk about mediumship, and thanks for all the new subscribers. Some of you that are not totally familiar with all my work may not know that I'm a medium, and I did not receive any training. I became a medium many years ago, many years ago, when I was a young woman and visited by my mother on the other side. So I'm prompted to share this partly because I'll be channeling Jesus Christ on Good Friday. So look for that live. And so the idea of life everlasting came to the forefront. And so we don't all do our work the same way. So just briefly, I will hear guidance from souls on the other side, of course, including animals. If I thought it might be interesting to some of you on my channel, if you'd like to have me bring through some more famous and recognized people, I'd be happy to do and try that here. Over the years, I've channeled John Lennon, Princess Diana, many other figures that are quite known and celebrated. So if you'd like to see that on my channel, comment below and we'll do that in the future. So back to my method and what happens on the other side. Much of that I thought we'd do a brief story time here, reading from you part of the soul's journey today anyway, introduction into the soul's journey from Into the White Light from Archangel Michael. And when I get to that, you might want to close your eyes and just sit back and listen to the wisdom and not be distracted by me. It's just an idea or a thought. Souls on the other side, the first question I ask them is, are you able to come through? And I'm asking them that question to see if they're finished with their experience in a place known as the Sacred Healing Garden. And if they are not, if they've newly transitioned and left their physical body, then it's simply a time to try later, that's where the soul is indeed there. In my decades of experience working with clients, I've not yet ever had a soul never able to come through. And again, it's not based on loving or not loving, it's based upon have they completed their work in the sacred healing journey, which I'd like to share with everybody a bit today. And I hope you enjoy it. So we'll have a little story time here, beginning with Archangel Michael describing what the sacred garden is. He begins by saying, "Let me begin by describing what the sacred garden is not, by using examples from the written word passed down through the ages. The sacred garden is neither a place on the other side called heaven, nor is it a place where all souls go. The sacred garden is not in the center of the universe. It's actually a little off-center. The sacred garden is sometimes spoken of in earthly terms as the garden of good and evil, but this is not the same place. It is not a kingdom of kings and queens. It is a place in our universe, to be sure, but is also and most assuredly a feeling one has of total acceptance. When a soul arrives at the sacred garden, that is exactly what is being offered. You may be asking how the sacred garden differs from your thoughts of heaven. I will describe the sacred garden's physical beauty and form. Imagine a place where all the elders of your community congregate. To me, an elder is a soul who has mastered some of the tougher lessons. Most often, these souls are advanced in development. But if we were to use an earthly example here, then age would replace development. Imagine then all of them talking at once and hearing all of what was being said. Think of the elders in this place as wise and mature individuals who rarely mistake truth for untruth. Imagine them wearing brown robes, everyone dressing the same, man, woman, and child. He goes on to say, a child can be an elder, can they not? Can children not teach? Are children often wise beyond their years? As we imagine this scene, suddenly something violent happens and the convening elders are all shaken. Though no one can see what the action is, all can see the response it caused by the reaction of the elders. This is what exactly happens in the sacred garden when a new soul enters. It is like an earthquake. Sometimes the rocking episode is literally a vibrational explosion, startling everyone around. This is how it is to be. Those of us who have spent enough time in the sacred garden expect this to happen. In fact, he says, we rejoice in the knowledge that a new soul has entered our realm of learning. Let us go back to our earthly analogy. After this explosion occurs, all the elders go running to see what has happened. They circle around one particular area and look down, much like a mother looks down on a newborn baby while sleeping in the crib. The vibration continues until all who are in this place come together. Then as suddenly as the vibration began, it ends. The path. Let me trace the path of a soul once it crosses over to help you place this realm in your mind. Let me speak from the perspective of a soul whose life ends naturally. As by a suicide, that is a different matter altogether. Suppose that this crossing over was not traumatic. These types of crossings over are handled differently, and I will be describing them later. This particular soul who we're using to illustrate our example has transitioned peacefully in their sleep, his or her sleep. To die is a physical earthly term, since there is no such thing as a soul death. Prior to crossing over into this dimension, which is physically about 3 feet from the earthly one, every soul either says a passage to themselves or out loud to loved ones. You may be thinking that this cannot be true. What about souls who die suddenly in their sleep? Surely they have not communed with God about their passing. However, the truth is, yes, they have. It may not have been in their last earthly seconds, minutes, or hours, the archangel said, but sometimes during the last 5 days of a soul's life, they have. The magic number is 5. You may ask about a soul that is in a coma or other unconscious condition, as I appreciate your thoughts to the matter, Michael said. They too commune with God prior to crossing over. I do not expect you to take my truth as your own the first time you hear this. It is a difficult concept to grasp. So let me rephrase it. Every soul, unless they have made a covenant to do otherwise, will convene at a set time and place before crossing over. I am speaking to all faiths all over the world. I am not saying at this point that all souls pray to the same God. No, I am saying that it happens in every life, this moment, this communion with God. Once this rite of passage is granted, a soul is free to leave the earthly plane. You may now be asking yourselves, well, how can this be? And Michael said, this I ask you to accept in faith. If your faith is strong, it will be so. If it is not, I will work harder to help you accept this as truth. Our spiritual journey takes us to a particular place in the world. Imagine ourselves in an unholy place. That would be anywhere there is the absence of light. Does this mean that the souls who are ready to cross over from a dense land are unable to do so? No. Does it mean that they make it to the same crossing over point as souls living in a holier place? Yes. Do these souls ascend immediately to the sacred garden? The answer is no, they do not. Am I implying favorites in the eyes of my God? No. I am merely trying to detail the whats, wheres, and whys of the sacred garden. The sacred garden is available to those souls who have experienced some healing. If a soul who crossed over has healed by the time of the convening, then the sacred garden awaits them. If they have not, as in my example he's presenting us here with, they go on to a place called the halls of justice. So I think I'll keep this short, and if you like the content, please let me know. We can resume with the halls of justice and continue on. Thank you so very much for liking, subscribing, sharing. Bye for now.